We're up here at the Goliath foster mum cage. So you can see this is Mrs. Gold, and she is grooming Edson. And we've got Claudette, Marie just behind, and then Lottie, who's just jumped down. So they're due for release in about 2 hours now. And see how we're going. Claudette is not going to go out, as she is heavily clinging to Edson. So the idea today is to let Edson and Lottie out with Mrs. Gold. We're going to keep Claudette behind, and then we're going to try and get a one-on-one mum with Claudette before she goes out. I think that's the only way it's going to work. But of course the hardest part is releasing them without Claudette. We might have to let Mrs. Gold out first, and let her go for an adventure, and while she's out we can come in and take Claudette out, and then hopefully Mrs. Gold comes back. So yeah, that's the plans for today. About 2 hours away, so we'll do last preps. So we've just removed Claudette Marie, and she's been down. She's down in Disneyland just for an hour. Basically we just let Mrs. Gold out into the trip. We went in, took Claudette. There was a lot of screaming, but she's now down in Disneyland getting some cuddles from the other babies. And it'll be just until Mrs. Gold leaves with Lottie and Edson, and then we'll bring Claudette back up and try to get in another foster mum. So basically we just couldn't let these out with Claudette here, because she would just cling to Edson. But Edson shouldn't have a problem. He should just follow Mrs. Gold out. So he's likely to follow along, and Lottie is the one that gets carried.
It's Angelica with Lottie. I think if Angelica goes with Lottie, it would be completely fine.
Go, go, go. Okay, Angelica out with Lottie and Mrs. Gold.
Edson a lot. Angelica's looking at it.
Yeah. And there's Mrs. Gold. I think that's Lottie actually. Mrs. Gold has Lottie. Oh, I just found Angelica, and this is Angelica and Lottie.
Got Mrs. Gold, Edson and Lottie here. Edson quite on edge after getting his first electric shock from the fence.
So very good opportunity for the babies to use the feeding cage, as Mrs. Gold is stopped right beside one, but they're still staying very close. Lottie was eyeing it up there. Edson is too scared, doesn't want to let go, but they are so close. And is Lottie gonna go for it? Come on. So very good opportunity for the babies to use the feeding cage, as Mrs. Gold is stopped right beside one, but they're still staying very close. Lottie was eyeing it up there. Edson is too scared, doesn't want to let go, but they are so close. And is Lottie gonna go for it? Come on. Down. Come on. Oh. One in. Two in. Success. Oh, thought he didn't drink though. Lottie's going back in, looks like. He is having a solid drink. I can hear him from here. I can hear him guzzling. So Edson, you can just see his head. There he is. And Lottie's the one standing up. Oh no, wait, sorry, that's the other way around. Lottie's the one now drinking. And now they're both. More drinking. What's the verdict? Empty. Okay, not bad.
Feeding time at Goliath. This is still waiting for the babies to drink their milk. Edson and Lottie. So we get to watch the others eating as we're waiting for them to come up to the feeding cage. Meanwhile, we've got a cheeky bandit here. Hey! There we've got Ema just running off. This looks like Vincent, I think. And then Mandy.
Vincent was born in 2009 to Mrs. Gold. He's probably one of the highest ranked males with Max, and he could possibly be the alpha. Mandy was born in 2007 to Sophie.
Edson and Lottie's new troop and new friends.
Sophie passed away a while ago. Mandy is used to climbing out the fence and escaping, but she seems to have settled down now.
And I believe here, right at the back, looks like Fritz. This is Maria Lisa.
So Fritz and Maria-Lisa
The 1-year-olds.
are both last year's orphans. You can see how well they're doing at the moment.
And there we've got Digit. You can see the scar on the left of her face. She was originally found caught in some barbed wire on a fence, which is why she's got that scar still on the left. She's been very good with babies generally as well in the last year or two. And there we've got Maggie May, who we're trying to actually get in with Claudette Marie. Because Claudette Marie needs a closer bond. It's difficult for Mrs. Gold to carry 3 babies out, and Claudette Marie does tend to hang on to Edson. So Claudette Marie's just come up to an intro cage again. Edson and Lottie are outside, and then we're hoping that we can bring Maggie May in, or somebody similar, to take care of Claudette Marie and form a closer bond for her.
So we've got quite a nice little family grouping or get together with the little orphans and Mrs. Golden and Digit grooming her. We did say Digit was found stuck on a fence for about 5 hours. That's where the scar comes from on the side of her face. She was fostered by Ellie. So is quite a robust little female. She's a very good foster mom. And also been through a lot, but you can see how well balanced she is now, and also become a great member of the troop. We have Tumbles entering. If you remember, I just told you earlier, she was found alone and injured in Zimbabwe.
Got Dabney, Soka and Yolanda. So these are all the awkward cases still in Disneyland. Yolanda still with her arm, you can see. And then Soka is now drinking from a bowl, and Dabney is also drinking from a bowl on and off. And then Eamon in the background. Eamon drinking from a bottle.
Okay, just with some assistance.
That's the same.
Really feels like it. Lovely.
So we're kind of at the end of our season now in terms of orphans, but there will be more coming, I'm sure. But it makes it more difficult to put them into troops because they are more than 3 months old now. So therefore the bond is a bit different. Mummies like small babies, pink faces. They form a better bond if they're under 3 months old, but we'll still get these guys mums. Little three-way snooze vest. That's Dabney in the middle, Eamon at the back, and Soga at the front. Everybody's sucking on everybody else's ears. Not that we encourage that, but it is darn cute.
So this afternoon I've decided to take Soka and Dabney over to the Sav intro cage for a little visit, see how they respond to the trip and how the trip respond to them, as we got to get these babies moving. And these two are drinking reasonably well from a bowl all by themselves, so time to test out some trips. So we've just made it to Sav, and we've got Acorn, Mama Corn, got a lot here. Got Delilah, got Dora and Ilku, got Holly and Priya, and also Nora. Oh, this is Horst, sorry. So Claudette Marie's back in the cage. It's quite difficult to get good video here because of the lighting, but inside I've got Tumbles, who's at the door, and Maggie May, who's eating some food. So Maggie May's the one we wanted to keep in. She was a good foster mom for Elio, and she's easy to keep in the intro cage. She doesn't get too stressed. So here Claudette, obviously calling out for her mum and bros, but we're hoping it works out with Maggie May. I'll let Tumbles out whenever she wants to leave, and then the Claudette will stay with Maggie May for a couple of days and we'll see how it goes. But she's nervous now, but she is already starting to get a little better just in the last half hour. Maggie May does try to approach her when Claudette comes down to the ground, which she's only started doing. But then as soon as someone starts to approach her, she moves away. Well, eventually she'll relax enough.
Claudette Marie in with Maggie May currently, but she's still crying for outside for Edson and Mrs. Gold. We're trying to basically get her a bond with another mum because 3 babies is a lot, and she's literally been clinging to Edson the whole time, and it wouldn't really be too safe out there if they're carried up high, for example, and she kind of clings on so much to Edson that it's difficult for her to get close bond with the mum, which is why Maggie May's in here to get her used to her as well. So it shouldn't be too long before she's reunited with Mrs. Gold, Edson and Lottie. It's just important for us to know that she's going to be safe. It's our responsibility to make sure she is. So this is why she is where she is. Just part of the process, but soon she'll be able to join them. Food's just arrived and Claudette Marie is eating not too far from Maggie May, so that's a good sign. You may remember Claudette Marie had a bandage on her arm because her arm was grazed by a pellet by a gun, so she had a gunshot wound there, and her mum was killed sadly. So you can see she's progressed so nicely, and now she's doing really well. She's got her fluffy 3-month coat as well. She's still got her pinkish face, probably because she's been under Edson so much, clinging on to him. But otherwise she's doing great.
Well, look at her build up her confidence and slowly go over to Maggie May and decide to start sharing the plate with her. So yeah, this is quite a little bit of progress. At least she's getting used to and not so scared of Maggie May anymore. And it might just take a little bit of a while for her to become a little bit more attached to her, which will be far better for her when she goes out into the main enclosure.
So here we have Claudette Marie, and she's with Maggie May. So yesterday was a very difficult day for her. So this is Maggie May at the door. It was a very difficult day for her because her friends and her foster mom are out in the trip, so she was left behind. But today she was scared of Maggie May as well, but today she's much more comfortable with Maggie. We're hoping then tonight they'll sleep on the same perch, as they do sit beside each other now. And a night on the perch together is a wonderful thing. And it can take a couple of days for them to bond, so fingers crossed. But she is still nervous, especially when the two babies turn up close to the cage.
Maggie May grooming Claudette Marie. So she just overcame her fear, I guess, and walked closer to her step by step and finally kind of snuggled up against her. Well, it was short, but it was something.
Marilla season, and Goliath luckily enough to have their own marilla tree. So this is Zorro. He's an orphan from 2015, and he's actually a Mrs. Gold's foster son.
So he arrived in 2016, and as Mark said, was fostered by Mrs. Gold. So he was quite well looked after and would run around with the hierarchy. If you do notice carefully, he's got small little pink underneath his eyes. He's very confident with people and with other monkeys. He's got a slightly scruffy coat, which is sometimes easy to identify him. A pointy and triangular face, almost a bird-like. So if you can pick up those features, you might be able to recognize him in the future.
We'll find Mrs. Gold and the babies up top. And I think it's Tumbles who's grooming Mrs. Gold now. Lottie getting a good view.
It just shows how comfortable the little ones have got with their foster moms when they jump up onto them and sit on their backs and things like this, and the mom's just kind of accepting it. So yeah, this is like a nice bond going on here, and you can see this is like a nice little family group at the moment, with Tumbles being the backup in the group at the moment.
And as you can tell, I have the hiccups. This looks like Angelica on the left. Nope, it's Emma. And they're way up there in the trees.
The puffadder is fairly common throughout South Africa. Is an ambush hunter. Does like toads and things like this, and normally attracts them with the flickering of his tongue. But he'll also eat other small little mammals or stuff. He's no threat really to monkeys or anything, although they will alarm call for him. He does sort of just hide in the bush, so you do have to be careful when you walk around. But we very seldom come across them or have any incidents with them. The Hinchback tortoise does fairly well here. They feed on the large land snails, which we have a lot of, millipedes, beetles and things like this, as well as mushrooms and stuff that grow in the area. So there's a lot of food for these guys around.
Morning free outside for Mrs. Gold, Lottie and Edson. Edson holding onto the bag and Tumbles here is following as usual.
So you can see how the little ones use their mom for protection. So whenever another, especially a male or something, comes past, they sort of jump closer to her or look for her for support. Even here, as you can see, she walks past this male. Look at the berth, the white berth they actually give to the male, and keep watching him, and then quickly scamper to go across to mom. But also the little tails up there. Normally that shows like a little bit of a dominance thing, but in their case I think it's showing a little bit of fear. And here again you can see them hanging on to mom, just checking around and just seeing what's going on. They have heard some other sounds, we're not too sure what it is. There might be bandits actually fighting somewhere. So they're staying close to their mom and just having a look out. She's also looking out to see what's going on. But you can see how they're holding on tightly to her, and they just won't let her go until they see what she's looking at or what the noise is. There's also another male, I'm not too sure of his name, but he's also parading in front and saying, look, I'm here, everything's safe, you don't have to worry. Digit enters just for extra protection, and you can see how she goes up to support the mom and start grooming to show she's a friend, and she's here to help look after everybody so everything's safe. So she's basically being a little bit of a backup and making sure everything's okay with the little family.
And off they go.
Mom's found a new spot near some food. The little ones are feeling a bit more comfortable. You can see they're not hanging onto it at the moment, and so they're going to start foraging a little bit and seeing what they can find in the area, and so they are feeling a little bit safer. So you see, as they feel safe, they'll move further away. There a monkey came past, so of course they went closer to mom because they're not too sure of the intentions. So it's a cat and mouse game all the time. So also notice the grooming, showing that everything's safe, and I've come on under a friendly basis and trying to make friends with you. The little ones are going to relax a lot more and start foraging around and trying different things because they see this is another friend, so they're not so worried, and they'll be a lot more calmer. I just like to say a big thank you for everybody for watching us and your support. It's really, really appreciated. I've actually cut down this video to try and get it closer to half an hour, which seems to be the more acceptable time for most people to be able to watch. If you are really a monkey enthusiast, please think about joining our membership and becoming a member, because we're going to try to keep the full length or longer videos for members, as they have joined because they really like the monkeys and like to watch them. So there'll be a lot more footage of the monkeys there. But more or less everything is the same. This is just a little bit more concise or cut down version, and getting more to the action of what the monkeys are doing. So if you'd like to watch more of the monkeys, please think about joining as a member. Otherwise, thank you everybody for your continued support, supporting us through PayPal, joining our Patreon account, spreading the word, just watching through the adverts. All of this is helping us tremendously, and we really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this version of the video, and let us know what your thoughts are. Thank you.